everybody. You guys aren't gonna believe it, but this week we're gonna have a video titled 68 Dodge C500 load 'em up truck, and we're actually working on the 68 C500. Who would have thought? Like, everybody titles videos based on a Dodge and works on a GMC, don't they? That's a new thing. So we're gonna start seeing if we can pluck this turkey here and see what we can make happen. So obviously this chassis is not being used. It's just the old juice brakes, too light, too short. Tires are bad. At least the front ones, the steers. The important ones, bad. And it takes up a lot of space in my shed, which is problematic because I've still got stuff strewn all over the place, and it'd be nice to get everything home. So the next step of getting the Bighorn home is getting the cab of the load 'em up truck off the chassis. So to do that, for starters, we're gonna just pluck some of the bolt-on stuff out of here. We're gonna take off the fenders, the steps, these cool little engine protector plates from like road spray and everything. I can't imagine that there's a lot of them that still have those on. Tell me that wasn't the first thing that got thrown out anytime someone had an engine issue. Then we'll peel the front clip off here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pull the fenders off or just try to pick it all as one. And then eventually we'll work our way up to getting the cab off. But we'll start stripping this turkey down and get ready to pull her apart. That way we can have even less complete trucks on the premises. But sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forward, right? Alright, so we got all the bolts out of the fender. We're gonna leave the fender and the step together for now. I don't know if I have a good reason for why, but that's what we're gonna do. So I've got one bolt in this thing, and so what back here, there's basically like a channel iron that runs up the back of this and into a slot right up in to the cab of the truck here. So I got one bolt to knock out here, and then this thing should, heavy emphasis on should, slide down and out in a very controlled manner, and we won't drop anything that hasn't been manufactured for 50 years and wreck. Right? Definitely how it's gonna go. In all of my infinite wisdom, you know, when I was hee-hawing around the last couple days, slipping into the shed here and looking at this and thinking about what I was gonna do next, I should have probably been coiling the bolts. But nobody's perfect. All right, look at that. That's a heck of a step to get in there now. Damn. All right, well, so I'll show you here. Oh. All right, so I'll show you here. So basically, they had a lot of bolts in this thing. So this one here, that you saw me struggle with, that one is actually a nut to the inside of the cab, which was different. And then these were all just threaded nutserts, basically, that all came out very well, considering this thing is 60, almost 60 years old. And pretty clean underneath there too. You can see some of the original undercoating that's on there. Even the engine protector came off really nice. So then we had those bolts in there, and yeah, I had to jack it up to spin the wheel around so I could get to use the impact. So and then there's a flange. There's a flange right here that runs the whole length in there that was bolted. A couple of those were a little worse for wear and broke off, but those aren't any sort of special bolt. And then right here, this is our channel, and it's actually very robustly made. It's a pretty heavy channel. I mean, that's probably 3/16 steel with a welded in insert for the bolt to go through. But yeah, so that's what holds our cute little step on. But overall, not too shabby. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And we don't mind the sketchy gas line going through the hole in the floor. That'll be getting removed too. So while we're over on this side, I'm gonna pop the heater core hoses off, if they come off. Probably would just further off to cut them, but let's start draining the coolant. And plus it's just about time for me to take a fiver, because the family is on their way home. But if I get full of coolant doing this little silly exercise, I will be grumpy and picky, and I guess there's no better time than the present to make that happen. And this is probably like the good stuff. Green antifreeze. Stuff that tastes sweet, smells sweet. We need that in our bucket. Oh yeah, we're gonna make a mess. I can just know it. Take the wrenches and the impact out of the way. Oh, there it is. Called it. No, I told you. I'm sticky. Well, so I gotta get, probably would have been, pro tip, pull the bottom one first. That was not my finest work. Knife's gonna be all sticky. I don't even have a buddy here with me, so I can't be like Uncle Wayno and cut towards your buddy. Oh. Alright. Really make a mess of things here. Interesting. I guess it wouldn't do me much good to drain the bottom side because not much there. There. Well, that's nice. And I'm sticky. So we're gonna take a $5 and go wash up because I hate antifreeze. I do. Nothing good about it. All right, so we're back. We're de-stickified from the antifreeze, but now that I'm working on the other side here on the dimly lit edge of the shop, definitely, you know, got some antifreeze working because some genius pulled the heater hoses off earlier. So that was a good one. Yeah. But I think we'll do the same thing. We're gonna get this fender and step off all in one go. That worked really well, actually. Now that I know a little more about how they come apart, and then once that's off, we'll pop the engine bay protector off. This one's got a little more attached to it than the other side did. Just a starting solenoid and some of the other stuff. Try to stay out of the light here, but some wiring. So we'll get that popped off then, too. Put any more dents in the Challenger hood than what was already there, so that's awesome. We got this guy stripped off, the little engine protector. Didn't break any of the important bolts. I did spin the old ones back in just so that I know where they are and where they came from for the time being. I mean, I'm not a concourse restoration guy with all original nuts and bolts, but if they work, I'm more than happy to use them. So yeah, that's a win. That's good. I'm happy with that. You can see here that we were close to a problem. Look at this nice pattern in our positive lead here. It very much matches up to our manifold, so we almost had a major issue. So that is a bullet dodged, but you know, look at these cute little manifolds. I mean, that I can touch my fingers. I can touch my fingers around that. So I mean, she was a high flowing machine here, high powered 318. That's for sure. So yeah, that was good. I got a lot of stuff down my neck from crawling around underneath here, and then found out that the Fender makes a really nice work tray here. So this is where the battery was originally mounted. Obviously, in our modifications here, I'm probably going to build a battery box down behind the steps and hide the batteries in there, like more like a true semi, just because I'm gonna need more than one. And I don't need all that weight hanging on the fender anyway. So yeah, our next adventure here is going to be, I really don't want to deal with the coolant, and I haven't found a drain on the radiator yet. So I'm thinking it's going to be one of those deals of pull the hose and make a mess, which I'm just not excited about. So maybe we'll work on the interior here, because the seat's got to come out. I got some stuff I got to pull out of there, and then we'll start getting it ready to bust the cab free. Boy, this thing sure seems a lot taller without the steps on it. Really gives her an attitude, and that standing right next to it. I mean, I'm 5'9", and the bottom of the windshield is over my head, so, and it's gonna be even taller when it's on the general chassis, so I feel like I'm king of the world. King of the world!